Hi folks, and welcome back to WAC on the Road. This morning is a really quick recap of our color changing fixtures. I have a lengthy video on them, but I've had kind of a resurgence of interest, and I want to make sure that we are all on page. Number one, our fixtures are not red, green, blue, white. That is not what they are. We utilize the Luminetics chipset, and that chipset was designed for very high color rendered tunable white. It does so with a very high-end CYM cyan, yellow, magenta formulary and mixes them together to create that very high color rendering white. The only way to address that is not to address them independently or individually as red, green, blue. So what instead is done is channel 1 is the intensity of the input value. So channel 1 gives us our volume of light. Channel 2 decides in that white spectrum whether we're at the low end, which could be either 1800 or 2200, all the way up to the high end, which could be 5K or 8K. So in this formula, channel 1 is the intensity, and channel 2 is going to decide where on the white spectrum we land. Channel 3 decides whether or not our concern is the white spectrum or the individual colors that are being utilized to arrive at that wonderful white spectrum. So channel 3 decides from 0 to 100 how intense each individual color will be. What that means is that we're no longer addressing electronically all of the colors to arrive at a white. What we're doing is addressing individual colors as chosen now by channel 4. And channel 4 decides whether it's magenta, yellow, blue, the cyan, and then back to magenta. And if you think in a circle, magenta, yellow, cyan, back to magenta. So this is how the Luminetics chip functions. So if you're using a standard, quote unquote, standard DMX control, you are going to need to be aware that channels 1, 2, 3, and 4 are not standard formulary, but instead designed first and foremost as intensity, then the white balance as utilized to do tunable white, then channel 3, the intensity of the individual color chips, and channel 4 decides which of those chips we are addressing and the crossover between them. All for now.